early this morning. Thank you all for taking out time from your busy schedules to come in. And we would be right up shortly. So my name is Onye Okwafo-Okocha. I'm also called Onye the Empowered Woman, and I'm with Touil's Law Practice. Like you know, we are the oil and gas gurus in Nigeria, leading firm in Nigeria. So we're scheduled to host an event to show everyone the business opportunity in the $10 billion NLNG Train, but the coronavirus altered our schedule. But thank God for technology. So we have decided to adapt and thus this webinar. So in response to this, we have decided to host a time-focused conversation, which we'll be having today. This webinar is about how to, we would like to show everyone the business opportunities for tech companies as with regards to the LNG space in Nigeria and in the world over. We'll be having a review of the major LNG projects in Africa. This will be taken by Mehdy Touil. I hope I pronounced that right. He's an LNG operations specialist. Thank you for coming in. We would also take thank you, sir. We would also have a critical analysis of the business opportunities in the NLNG that is going on. Basically, because of the lockdown and the way everybody now has to observe the social distance, we have to all go digital. So our lead partner, Olufola Wusu, will be taking us through on how we can play in this space digitally.
Thank you.
Then we'll also have an expose on fintech opportunities with regards to the LNG companies. Yes, yet again, we are going digital. This will be taken by our very own David Oluronsi. Welcome, sir. Thank you for standing by. We see you've been in here. Then after that, we're going to have a panel discussion on issues. On issues that CEOs should consider with respect to LNG companies, how we can all go digital. And this session will be anchored by Mr. Adewale Yusuf. He's the CEO of TechPoint Africa. I believe Mr. Adewale Yusuf is already on this call.
Yes, he is.
Thank you for joining us, sir.
Hi.
Thank you for joining us, sir. We appreciate it.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Okay, so basically, in one sentence, this is about the LNG space. There's a $10 billion space to play in. Yes, coronavirus might have kept us all in our various spaces, but yes, we have thank God for digitalization and technology. So this is about discussing how we can play in this space and still maximize it. So at this point, I'm going to hand over to our very own lead partner, Olufola Wusu of the Touil's Law Practice. He would give a synopsis or give us a rundown of our first speaker. You can take it up from there, Mr. Olufola.
Thank you so much for your time. A brilliant partner, great asset to the firm, considering the fact that she's a startup person, multiple startups and all have succeeded. So we have the capacity to give legal advice and to also give real life advice on how startups can grow. And of course, that also adds value to the practice that we do because we're also able to advise on big transactions and being able to take some of those takeaway lessons from the big transactions and help the startup guys scale is something we also take pride in doing. So back to the conversation of today, you know that the LNG space is buzzing in Africa. So many LNG projects are coming up simultaneously. Natural gas is becoming, a hot topic in Africa. So today we want to talk about the LNG space in Africa, the projects that are coming up from Nigeria to Egypt, to Mozambique, to Equatorial Guinea. And the best man to do that, I would say, is Mr. Mehdy Touil. Has global experience from LNG projects from all around the world, has great commercial experience as well. So he will be breaking it down into bits and pieces that non-energy people can understand. And it's also important that we pay attention to his presentation because you know that the oil and gas industry is largely localized, but it's also a global industry. So what's going on in Saudi Arabia and Russia can affect the entire world. And largely speaking, that's exactly what happened just before the COVID-19 crisis started. So at this point in time, I'll be handing over to Mehdy himself to give us an expose on LNG projects in Africa and how you can tap into the opportunities that are evolving very quickly. The Mozambique project should be between $15 million to $20 billion. So that's a lot of value as well, Rovuma project. And Equatorial Guinea is there, there's Egypt LNG. So the LNG projects happening everywhere. So my advice to entrepreneurs is, even if, regardless of where you are in Africa or where you're coming from, don't just focus on the value chain in one country. You can look at Africa as one big basket of goodies and tap into as many opportunities as you can. Mehdy, you're on.
Thank you, Rafula. Thank you for having me here and giving me the opportunity to talk about LNG and specifically African LNG. So I will share the screen and start sending my presentation. Okay, so here we are. So African LNG. So my presentation will be mostly about the technological aspect of the industry. I will share the existing facility, the current status about the existing facilities, as well as the projects. So a little bit about myself. I am an LNG operations specialist. I have over 18 years in the liquefaction industry. I started my careers in Sonatrach, Algeria. I worked there for 4 years. Then I moved over to Qatargas, which is the largest LNG exporter. I worked for Qatargas 11 years. And in 2017, I joined the Yamal LNG in the Arctic Russia, which is the northernmost liquefaction facility and industrial facility in the world. I'm also a 3D and graphic designer. And as many of my connections on LinkedIn already know, I am passionate, really passionate about LNG. So African LNG. African LNG at the moment is 6 producing countries, 26 liquefaction trains, 71 million tons per annum in capacity, and 46 million tons of production in 2019. So the existing facilities, a little bit of history. The very first commercial export of LNG started in Africa, and specifically in Algeria in 1964 at the Camel liquefaction facility, the city of Arjo. So it all started from Africa. The facility was using the Trico cascade process. Okay. Algeria has a long history of LNG. It was for almost 2 decades. It was the world's largest exporter of LNG. They started 3 trains using the Trico cascade process in 1972. They added in 1978 6 trains using Air Products C3MR liquefaction technology. It was followed by 6 additional trains in 1991. In 1981, also they added 3 trains at the city of Skikda. So they have a very large number of trains in operations. Unfortunately, in 2004, the largest disaster struck the city of Skikda in 2004. And it was a huge explosion that destroyed the 2 trains and badly damaged the 3rd one. 27 people lost their life. It was in 2004. In 2013, the train was rebuilt from scratch using Air Products C3MR technology. And in 2014, the last train was added. Okay. So right now, at the moment, Algeria is 14 LNG trains in operation, a global capacity of 25.5 million tons per annum, a production in 2019 of 12.2 million tons, which is slightly less than half of its capacity. And all the trains in Algeria are using the C3MR from Air Products Incorporated. The next country, I'm following the chronological order. The next country is Nigeria. Train 1 and 2 were started in 1999, followed by Train 3 in 2002, Train 4 in 2005, Train 5 in 2006, and the last train, Train 6, in 2007. So right now, Nigeria has 6 LNG trains in operation with a capacity of 22.2 million tons per annum. The production in 2019 was 20.8 million, which is equivalent to a utilization rate of above 90%. So all the Nigerian trains are using air products C3MR liquefaction technology. And at the moment, Nigeria is the 5th largest global exporter of LNG. Egypt also, the first train was started in 2005 at Sigaz LNG complex, city of Damietta, followed in the same year by Egyptian LNG in the city of Itku, train 1 and 2 in 2005. But due to various issues, including the feedstock availability and some legal issues with the developers, only the Egyptian LNG has been operating, as well as Sigaz LNG operation was suspended in 2013. With the recent discoveries of natural gas field in the Mediterranean Sea by the Egyptian authorities, there is a big hope on the startup of the old trains so that the country can achieve its nameplate capacity. So as you can see, the nameplate capacity at the moment is 12.2 million tons per annum for 3 trains, but the production in 2019 was only 3.5 million, which represents less than 30% of the capacity. So again, Sigaz is using air products C3MR technology, and the Egyptian LNG train 1 and 2 are using ConocoPhillips optimized cascade process. So a lot of hopes for the Egyptian LNG industry for the future years. Equatorial Guinea, a single train, started in 2007 with a nameplate capacity of 3.7 million tons for a single train again. The production in 2019 was 2.8 million, 75% utilization rate, and using the ConocoPhillips optimized cascade process. Angola, also a single train, started in 2013, Angola LNG Train 1, with a single capacity of 5.2 million tons per annum, using the ConocoPhillips optimized cascade. And this is one of the largest trains using this process in the world, okay? So in 2019, the production was 4.4 million tons per 4 million tons, which represents 84% of the nameplate capacity. And the last country is Cameroon. Cameroon is operating the single floating LNG vessel in the African continent. It was started in 2018 on board the Hilly Episeyo FLNG vessel. It is a small project using Black & Veatch Preco technology. It has a single capacity of 2.4 million tons per annum, and the production in 2019 was slightly above half of the capacity, 1.3 million. And noted that the Hilly Episeyo is the second FLNG vessel in the world operating. So again, just to summarize, Africa is 6 producing countries at the moment, 8 production sites, 26 liquefaction trains, 13% of the global LNG production, and 16.5 of the global liquefaction capacity, 71 million tons per annum. So you can see that Africa has a lot of potential to increase the production, even using only the existing facilities, because we are still at 64% utilization rate. I will move to the second part of my presentation, and the most exciting one, which is about the upcoming LNG projects on the African continent. So we start with Mozambique. A lot of media coverage on the projects. The coverage has been positive, mostly positive, about the huge investments and the financing and everything, but also due to some political issues, the coverage has been also on the negative side. So right now for Mozambique, we have 3 projects at different stage of development. We have Coral South FLNG, Mozambique LNG, and Rovuma LNG. I will start with Coral South LNG. So it is the world's first deep-water floating LNG facility at a depth of 2,000 meters under the sea surface. The operator will be Italy Eni, a capacity of 3.4 million tons per annum, which is quite big for a floating facility. The process will be used is Air Products dual MR. The EPC contractors will be Technip and JGC, the Japanese Gas Corporation. The vessel is built by Samsung Heavy Industry in Jeoje Island, South Korea. The turbines will be Baker Hughes PGT-25, and the capex is estimated to be around $4.7 billion. The final investment decision was approved in 2017, with the startup expected in 2022. The second project, and which is quite the big one, Mozambique LNG. Operator will be Touil. The capacity will be 2 trains of 6.5 million tons per annum, plus 2 optional trains, depending on the agreement and the financing. So this 6.5 million ton per annum, it's currently at the moment, it is the largest single capacity for the Air Products C3MR process technology. This is quite large for this process. The EPC construction contractors will be Saipem, Italy, McDermott, US, and Chiyoda, Japan. It will include the construction of 2 very large storage tanks of 180,000 cubic meter capacity. The turbine used will be Baker Hughes Frame 7. The Frame 7 is the workhorse of the LNG industry, and it's been used in almost all over the recent project in the world. The capex for this project is estimated to be around $23 billion US. The FID was approved in June 2019. Touil took over from late Anadarko in September 2019. At the moment, there are 8 LNG carrier ships on order, and the startup is expected to be in 2024. The third project, which is also a very specific project, is Rovuma LNG. The operator will be ExxonMobil. It includes the construction of 2 trains of 7.6 million tons per annum. So as you can see, the 7.6 is almost the maximum capacity for LNG trains. At the moment, the largest LNG trains in the world are the Qatargas trains, which has a single capacity for each train of 7.8 million. So here we are at 7.6 million. And Rovuma LNG will be using the same technology, which is Air Products APX. It is a step ahead the C3MR process, which most of the trains in the world are using. The EPC contractor will be Technip again, Fluor, and Japanese Gas Corporation. The project will include the construction of 2 large storage tanks with a single capacity of 200,000 cubic meters. Something specific about this project, most of the LNG trains in the world are using the same turbines. Either it is the Frame 7 or the Frame 5 or the Frame 9 for the large mega trains of Qatar. This time, it's been a first. They are going to use Mitsubishi Heavy Industry H100. So most of the people who are in the operation side, they heard about it. It's mainly used for power generation. And this is the first time they are going to use this Mitsubishi gas turbine for compressor use for LNG trains. So it is a dual shaft gas turbine with an output of 120 megawatts. So it is a first, and I think this is a good experiment to break the monopoly of Baker Hughes and GE. The capex is estimated to be around $30 billion US. The FID was supposed to be signed this year, but due to the COVID situation and the low oil prices, it was postponed to 2021, and the startup is expected to be in 2025. Let's move over to Nigeria, and Nigeria LNG Train 7, which has received also a lot of coverage and very positive coverage due to the scope of the project. So actually, NLNG Train 7 is 2 parts. The first part includes the construction of a single train with a capacity of 4.3 million tons per annum. using, again, Air Products C3MR technology. The construction contractors will be Saipem from Italy, Daewoo from Korea, and Chiyoda from Japan. It will include the construction of an additional small storage tank, 84,000 cubic meter. The turbines, as you can see, the frame 7, which is quite popular for LNG industry. And the capex is estimated to be around 10 to 12 billion US dollars. The FID was approved this year, and the startup is expected to be in 2025. So LNG Train 7, Nigeria LNG Train 7 is two parts. The first part is the construction of a single train, and the second part is the debottlenecking of the existing facilities, which are 6 trains. So please follow with me. So you have the feed gas supplying train 1, 2, and 3. This is the first very train, which was started in 1999. So each train has a single capacity of 3.3 million tons per annum. So you have 3 trains sending their products to LNG storage. Then you have the newer trains, 4, 5, and 6. Each train has a single capacity of 4.1 million tons per annum. As well, they are sending the products to LNG storage. And the additional train 7 with a single capacity of 4.3 million. So this is the configuration you can see right now. So what is specific to this project, that a new unit will be added. This unit is called the CLU, or Common Liquefaction Unit. So this unit, in addition to the existing trains and the new train 7, it will take its feed from upstream the main cryogenic heat exchanger, which is the heart of the LNG trains. So from each train, it will be supplied to the Common Liquefaction Unit, as well as from train 7. So you can see 4 trains supplying the Common Liquefaction Unit. Downstream, the main cryogenic heat exchanger, which is the equipment that produces LNG inside the LNG train, also will be supplying and flash gas, okay, to the Common Liquefaction Unit from train 4, 5, 6, as well as train 7. So all 4 trains will be supplying the new unit, the Common Liquefaction Unit, and producing roughly around 4 million tons, which is like an equivalent of a single train. It's like adding 2 trains, okay? So without constructing a new train, this is just by extending the capacity. Of course, it includes the development of new wells and the debottlenecking of the upstream facilities. So as you can see here, so all sending to the storage. So the project, it is train 7 plus the CLU, Common Liquefaction Unit, around 8 million tons per annum, which is roughly equivalent to the construction of 2 trains. Next one is a common project between Mauritania and Senegal. It's called the Greater Tortue Ahmeyim Floating LNG. So it is quite a large project as well in scope. It is phase 1 plus phase 2 and 3. So phase 1, the operator will be Golar LNG. The vessel will have a capacity of 2.5 million tons per annum. It will use the Black & Veatch pre-co process. The constructor will be Golar LNG. The vessel will be an old vessel. It is a 42 years old Moss type ship that will be converted by Keppel in Singapore. It's currently under construction. The turbine we'll use will be Baker Hughes PGT-25. And the capital is expected to be around 4.7 billion US dollar. The final investment decision was approved in 2018, and the startup was expected to be in 2022, but due to the COVID restriction and the manpower availability, it has been delayed to 2023. Phase 2 and 3, new operator, it will be developed by British Petroleum. 2 units of 3.7 million tons per annum each. It will use the Linde, German Linde MFC2 technology, the multi-fluid cascade technology. The front-end engineering design has been done by KBR from the US. The turbine will be Baker Hughes. I'm not sure about the exact model, but it's supposed to be the PGT-25 again. The capital is expected to be around 3 billion US dollars. The FID is supposed to be approved at the end of this year with a startup date of 2024. Tanzania LNG. Tanzania has a lot of potential for developing its natural gas industry. Unfortunately, due to some political consideration and negotiation with the big majors, the project has been delayed. So I hope to see it move forward because it has a lot of potential. So the developers of the project, as I told you, big majors, we have Shell, ExxonMobil, and Equinor. The project scope is 2 trains of 5 million tons per annum each. Again, the process, as you can see, most of the trains will be using Air Products C3MR. The pre-design was done by KBR. The CAPEX is around 30 billion US dollars. The FID is supposed to be approved in 2022 with a startup date of 2028. Again, due to the current restriction and the low oil prices, it is not sure that this project will ever see the light, which I hope not. Okay, so this is the end of my presentation. So there is one African saying, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. So this is the opportunity for the African continent to build and develop its own LNG industry. There's a lot of potential. Anyway, if you want, you can follow me on LinkedIn. I'm very active in the LNG field. You can send me an email and you can subscribe to the following hashtags: LNG, African LNG, and LNG infographics. And thank you for having me again.
Thank you, Mehdy. That was an insightful presentation.
Welcome.
Let's go on to a quick poll.